Please listen carefully.
Well, hello, universe, and welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Kristy Jansen.
And I'm Summers McKay.
And we're part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to one focused on solutions.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy, beehive-tending-worthy podcast. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of January, 2021. Well, Kristy, good morning. How are you today?
I'm well. I'm safe and secure and healthy, knock on wood, and cozy in my house. Yeah, so I'm happy today. How about you?
I am likewise cozy and safe and secure. We are doing well here in Texas. My husband got a little overambitious with space heaters last night and blew the fuse box on the trailer. So that was our adventure this morning, but fortunately that is also solved. And my husband and the kids all went to go drive around Austin today, this morning, while I get some work done. So I had a nice, morning breath of Texas air and a little walk with the dog, and I'm feeling good. I am ready for a solution mindset kind of day. So, yesterday was a really intense day in our conversations. We had conversations with our stakeholders, with our founders, with our editorial, all about how the Optimist Daily is really going to move forward in this time of uncertainty. The tough conversations are so important to have, and they do weigh heavily, but there is a lightness that comes after they've been sort of vetted. And I just want to thank you and the team and everybody who's contributing discussion points to the Optimist Daily right now for your efforts, because we will get through a tricky time. Mm-hmm. And that I definitely am feeling lighter today than yesterday, for sure.
Yeah, well, I think whenever there's a challenging, emotional, tense moment, covering it over and suppressing those emotions never turns out well, right? Actually bringing it out, that's that whole idea of truth and reconciliation. You have to speak truth. You have to be unguarded in that truth and say everything. And then you can seek to heal after that. But you can't do the second part without doing the first part.
Yeah, exactly. The sort of acknowledge and move forward is how we create solutions, mm-hmm. as opposed to how we just stay mired in the problem.
Yes.
So,
yes. But so speaking of solutions,
I was going to say, so speaking of, and on to solutions for the day, I'm kind of excited about our theme for our conversation
today. I like
today.
it too. Sort of talking about some of the built world and the idea that, it's getting back to that circular economy kind of mentality. Why don't you start off with your story, Summers?
I will. Okay, so let's talk plastics. Now, we at the Optimist Daily are big fans of using less plastic and also reusing plastic. And so we look for companies and organizations that are finding ways to solve that problem. This headline today reads, a new delivery platform uses reusable containers to cut plastic waste. Now, what I like about this solution is that it's like taking a Grubhub or Uber Eats, and it's an organization that does the food delivery, but also says part of their mission is that they will bring you food in reusable plastic. And then part of the relationship you have with this company is that they will then collect it from you for future use. The delivery service is based in New York City. It is called Deliver Zero, and it basically wants to change packaging food takeout into reusable clamshells. So every time you order, you can hand over those containers that you previously used for your other order to the delivery person. Deliver Zero is an online platform. It's, an app just like all the others. And the co-founder, Adam Barbiars, sorry, Adam, if I slaughter your name
I think
there, but
that
nonetheless,
looks pretty good.
exactly. He is quoted as saying, everything we do is designed to give the customer and the restaurant the same kind of feel that they're used to with this environmental twist. What happens is if you keep your container, you're charged $3.25 plus tax for each container you keep. And what I love about this business solution is Deliver Zero is creating a relationship with their customers. They're creating a solution, and they're saying, we're going to take that onus of reusability off of the restaurants, because the restaurants have so much on their plates and profitability and management, and they're giving a solution to both ends of the supply chain.
Yeah, and not just that, they're also it's lightening the load on our waste disposal processes as well. Whether you have a container which is technically recyclable or not, often it can't be recycled if there's still food waste in it. So the fact that it needs to be washed and reused in this way, and I think it can be done. That can be done up to 1,000 times, and that's a tremendous lightening of the trash that would be otherwise just going to landfills, or even if it's going to the recycling centers, which needs to be sorted and cleaned. And I think it's even questionable if those kinds of plastics are easy to recycle into other useful products. So I think this is a wonderful story. I like Deliver Zero's mission, and I'm really interested to see how they grow. I think they're in New York City right now. They launched in 2019, and they plan to expand this winter to Amsterdam and then later on to Chicago. And I'm rooting for them and other companies who have a similar type of mission and that focus on figuring out not just throwing things away, but how do we lighten that load?
Well, and we look at, I mean, in this RV, I think I have, I don't know, 4 weeks worth of plastic takeout containers that I brought with us. I was like, oh, that'll be usable on the road. And, the takeout industry has boomed during COVID, and it is highly likely that the takeout industry will continue to grow even after people are no longer in the restrictions of the pandemic, simply because our behaviors have changed. And so for them to seize this opportunity to say, we are going to create a solution and an economically viable company, it's just brilliant. I love it. Yeah. But even after 1,000 uses, we still have a problem. What are we going to do with the plastic, Kristy? What's going to happen after 1,000 uses?
Well, I can't speak to the recycled restaurant waste, these plastic containers, but the story that I wanted to highlight today, the headline is, "This sleek chair is made of recycled plastic from electronic waste." And this is electronic waste. I mean, anybody who reads the Optimist View knows that I did a lot of research on this, but it's a real issue. In 2019, for example, the world generated 54 million metric tons of e-waste, and that includes everything from discarded laptops and cell phones to radio speakers and monitors or televisions. I mean, we use so much electronics now. And there was 54 million metric tons of e-waste in the 1 year in 2019. And I'm sure it'll be even more this year. And they are expecting it to go up to 64 million metric tons by 2030. And so this is a real problem. I was focused on the lithium ion batteries, which are embedded in a lot of those things. But another part of what goes into making up these devices is the plastic. And so that's a real issue. But there's a designer, Tom Robinson, who's based in London. He's one of many who are trying to come up with solutions, and we just are featuring him in this story. He wants to help curb that amount of e-waste by turning the plastic leftover into furniture. And he has recently designed a chair, which is called the Evolve chair, and it uses 100% recycled plastic from e-waste to build this piece of furniture. The idea is to give this plastic a more natural feel and encourage people, just sort of, it's like kind of showing how people can use what used to be trash for usable products. And it's sort of a funny looking chair. It's made of plastic, which is black, because that's a lot of times it's black electronics that comes from the phones and the computers and the things, and it's crushed and granulated before being transformed into plastic panels. And this particular chair, it's not quite my style, because it kind of looks like, it looks a bit like a laptop that's open. It's a funny looking chair. It has very minimalist modular design with sort of a indented seat and a straight back. So it might be super comfortable. I don't know. But it definitely has a style to it. which isn't mine, but that doesn't mean that it's not a very noble effort. And the fact is it's made of 100% recycled plastic. So I think this is a
So
great.
I think that I personally could probably get a rose gold version because of my obsession with rose gold technology. So, perhaps if the designer is open to other ideas or other colors, I could just turn over all of my years of rose gold Fitbits and get myself a rose gold version of this chair. But it is, it's certainly a design worthy effort. And, it kind of reminds me of some of the very, very expensive office chairs that you see in catalogs that you think, how could that possibly be comfortable? But they turn out to be really comfortable.
Sometimes they really are. Yeah. And so I can't judge that. But I think that having this kind of consideration in every single thing we're designing these days, whether it's a funny looking chair for your office or your home, or the takeout containers that you're getting every night or 3 times a week or however much you're ordering takeout food that can then be reused and sort of processed in a different kind of way, it will help us lower our overall ecological impact of the footprint on the environment and keep our cities cleaner, our streams cleaner, our oceans cleaner, and the air cleaner. So I think this is all great solutions thinking in design.
Exactly. Well, and the idea that we can be innovative is really fun. And another fun headline that I see today on the Optimist Daily is that Paris is set to transform the ChampsElysees into a huge garden. And I think this is really, really exciting. We won't go into it. They'll explain sort of how they're going to do it in the story, but it's a reduction of road space and also reducing pollution. And that is just a totally neat way of rethinking space, which frankly, the pandemic has allowed us to rethink space, rethink takeouts, rethink eating, rethink what we do with our, electronic waste. There's so much innovation coming out of this time, this valley of sort of productivity where we're getting creative, that I love it. So that falls in the same line. What else do we have on the Optimist Daily today?
There's a story about dogs that are being used to protect wildlife. That's a fun one for all of us dog lovers out there, which both you and I are. If you're hungry before bed, there's 4 sleep-inducing snack recommendations that we are offering today. Listening
and
to
you know what? That article gave me inspiration because I have to figure out how to pack up a lunch to take on the road for Brennan because we are going to go look at some property. And avocado and rice cake, I just remembered I have avocado and rice cake and I can feed her that for lunch. And she'll be a good mother.
Food porn really works, Summers, because that's the picture, right? Listening to salmon could make farmed fishing less wasteful by using the sense of hearing, and that's kind of an interesting one there. There's a portable X-ray system that will enable patients to self-check for broken bones. Encouraging creativity in remote teams with these strategies, that's something that we're all trying to think about. Those of us who are now not working in the same location, but we're still working together. Super important thing to think about as we move into the future and work from home becomes more part of what we are doing in our offices. A design firm is turning an old airport runway into a beautiful park in Shanghai. Again, rethinking spaces and reimagining what used to be industrial space and making it more sort of human scale. And in case you're losing your motivation after New Year's, which I know I have, Summers, I was writing this morning because I'm trying to get my writing done before I start reading news, as you suggested. It's been 3 days since I did that successfully.
And I haven't been hounding you about it. So thank you for reminding me as your accountability partner tomorrow morning. Because I'm up before you are, you're going to get a text. It's like, put down the news, Kristy, and pick up the pen.
So in case you, like me, have lost some motivation, here are 6 tips to help you stick with your resolutions. And that is it for today's Optimist Daily. But go check it out. Go read everything on today's stories. And thank you so much for listening to the Optimist Daily Update. We will promise to keep sharing these positive solution-based stories with ideas on how you can participate in the changing world and ensure it's changed for the good. And we will keep covering these current events with accuracy, legitimate sources, and with the information needed most to chart new paths for all of us while lowering the emotional temperature so we can move forward with productivity.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you all. Stay safe, stay warm, stay kind, and if you have time and the funds, please consider becoming an emissary on the optimistdaily.com. $5 a month, 15 or 50 will help support reader-funded journalism, help us keep the Optimist Daily free to all who need it, supported by those who can. See you guys tomorrow.